we're here today to talk about the Mission Support Group. So Josie, would you start and tell us who you are and what you do?
We are actually a subcommittee of the PCC, and we're appointed by the PCC to make recommendations as to how the church should support mission groups outside of the parish. And that is our, if you like, that is our commission. Who are we? Well, there's a group of 5 of us, and basically we have come together because we have experience of working either in or with mission partners. One of the main tasks is that we have to allocate the tithe, which is the 10% that the PCC sets aside for outside missions. And in many ways, this is our sole main responsibility. And if I say in 2020, this was £37,000, it is quite a sum. But the support is not just financial. We seek to actively engage with our mission partners, and at a personal level, perhaps our other main area is through the prayer support that we give to the different organisations. As for the rest of our budget, the balance is allocated for emergency responses, and each year we try to consult the congregation as to how they would like to see missions supported. And that, we hope, just brings new ideas into the mission group that we can work on and expand on.
Susie, can you tell us why it's so important in the life of a Christian and in the life of our church to be supporting these mission partners?
Josie has already mentioned, it's a biblical principle for us to give 10% of our income to the church, and then the church is giving 10% of its income to mission to assist other Christians in various places around the world and in the UK in spreading the word of God, spreading the good news of the Bible, and to demonstrate the love of Christians for their fellow brothers and sisters around the world.
And Francis, tell us a little bit about where prayer fits in to our mission support.
It's another biblical principle, really, isn't it? We see so many examples in the Bible of, for example, Paul or his friends and colleagues praying for churches and communities that are far away from where they are, wrestling in prayer for Christian communities, praying that those people will be mature in their faith and assured in their faith, and also demonstrating that with financial giving. So the two really go hand in hand. Christians supporting one another financially, but also in prayer.
Could you tell us who our mission partners are for this next year?
Well, our mission partners, we try to reflect the diversity of interest within the church congregation. And we're actually given guidance by the PCC on this, and we try to split what we give between, the most obvious one is home and overseas.
So our 3 home mission partners this year are Interact, Caring for Life in Leeds, and Wellspring in Harrogate. And I'll just say a little bit about Interact, because Interact was started by a couple from St Mark's, and it's a charity that supports young offenders when they leave custody. And our 3 international long-term mission partners this year are Artisan International, Latin Link, and another charity called Mission Without Borders. And Mission Without Borders is a charity that works with families in Eastern Europe, with really poor families in Eastern Europe in a variety of ways. But I think one of the most popular things that we always hear about from the charity is their summer camps that they run every year when they're able to, without COVID restrictions for young people, and they're really popular. And Mission Without Borders is another charity that the young people in our church feel that they can relate to, and they've often done other fundraising events to raise awareness of Mission Without Borders as well. And we're fortunate enough to have someone who works for Mission Without Borders in our congregation who is able to give us lots of updates about the different work that they do, because you can get all this information from the charities themselves and they will send things, or you can look on their websites, but having that personal link is just it's really special, and it's really important, and we get a lot out of that, definitely, I would say, in the mission support group, knowing that there are people in these different charities who we know personally who can share the work that they do and the issues that they might have that we can pray for or help them with.
The chocolates that are sat behind you, can you just tell us a little bit about that?
I am sitting in chocolate heaven. Yes. Over the years, we have developed a relationship with the chaplaincy in Wetherby Young Offenders. Now, the chaplaincy is obviously working with the lads in the prison, whereas Inter-Out is looking after those that leave the prison. This last year has been particularly difficult because of lockdown. But one of the things that we have developed doing is at Easter and at Christmas, we try to provide little treats for the lads. There are 200 in present, which is why I am surrounded by 200 tubes of Cadbury's mini eggs. And if you can see these, we put these with an Easter Bible comic.
I'm going to come to you, Francis, first and ask, how could we get involved? And one of the ways I know is through prayer. So how could we get involved?
Praying for our mission partners is just as important as the money that we have the privilege of giving to them, really. So we will be praying throughout the year, one by one, for each of our long-term mission partners, and give people in the church family the opportunity to hear those stories and things that the organisations that we're supporting are doing. I think it can be a really inspiring thing to hear about how other people in different contexts are working to build God's kingdom. So definitely get involved with praying, whether that's just picking up our prayer diary and praying week by week, or whether it's coming to a monthly prayer gathering, whether it's tuning in on a Sunday and listening to stories that are shared there, either through our prayers or through visitors. There's lots of ways.
One of the great ways to get involved, as Francis has touched on, is to speak to those people that are representatives of those charities within St Mark's and just have a conversation and start hearing stories of our mission partners.
Yes, whilst actually volunteering for organisations is great, it's not really possible at the moment, but to use the opportunity, we do have links with all of the organisations.
That's great. So all that's left for me to say really is thank you. Thank you to each one of you. What a wonderful group, and what a faithful and committed group.